Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Doujinshi, and welcome back to another episode of Hentai Reviews, the only series where, when we're deciding between Marvel and DC, we mostly pick DC because Harley Quinn is just the best girl. Yes, I did watch the TV show. Shut up. I liked it. So, today we are going to be talking about one with a very long name because and this is definitely not coming from a random ass spot. I really feel like I should have a list of these shows to review in advance, but unfortunately, I don't plan that far ahead, so I just wait till I run out of a certain series, and then I just start spitballing at random things, and hopefully I find something good. Today was one of those days. Nice. Also, thank you for everybody that's here. You're all fucking awesome. If you want to watch more, subscribe for new videos. We do ones mostly every day, except for Saturdays, because I take that day off, or I take Friday off, so I don't have to upload Saturday. But sometimes our schedule gets a little bit wonky. I'm trying to be more consistent. But, as of today, we're going to be reviewing Yanmama Junyuu chou, Episode 1. If you're wondering, I'll spell it right in the title. I'm not going to say it right here. Like I've said before, and like I'm going to continue saying, I am white. We do not pronounce stuff right because we can't read. Yeah. Alright, this little beauty over here was done by our friends over at Bunny Walker, running at 16 minutes and 40 seconds, much shorter than the series that we have been covering. They're usually within 22 to 30 minutes long, but that's pretty good for me because I was having a long day, so I might as well get something short or out of the way. With a total of 14 categories, notable of which are MILF, Plot, and Ahiego. Oh, or Ahiegao, if you want to pronounce it that way. I don't, because I also can't pronounce that. Because reading is hard, especially when it's not from your native language. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the mass plot of the entire thing. Starting off with the main character walking by his teasing stepsister, and yes, that is their relation. She is not she's not blood related to him, but she is technically his sister, and she has two children. One is an infant, and the other one is a toddler. As he walks in at her, she is currently breastfeeding the younger of the two, and it noticeably gets him a little bit aroused because, hey, that's exactly what you think of when you see a breastfeeding person. Get horny, not avert your eyes because you're being a dick. But regardless, he then explains his attraction to her after after a little bit, and they start hanging out and drinking. They get into a bit of a tipsy moment where she calls him out and is like, I bet you would like to drink from my boobs the way you keep staring at them. He's like, I would. And then she's like, oh, I didn't think you'd call my bluff. And that's exactly where scene 1 starts. Also, by the way, just a little note, she's married, and, gotta say, that's a no-go. That's a no-go on everybody's part. Scene 1 itself starts at 4 minutes and 10 seconds and goes to 6 minutes and 45 seconds. It's overall of decent length, 2.5 minutes, pretty good. He then has he now has a much dirtier mind when he's thinking of her, as she says, hey, this was a one-time thing, we're not doing it again. So naturally, the next day, it happens again. Yeah. Scene 2, cutting in from 7 minutes and 35 seconds to 8 minutes and 25, with an additional little bit of a spot right there where it slows down to actually end at 10 minutes and 25 seconds. So, 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Pretty decent length. Overall, this is a much shorter show. So it's nice to have shorter sections put in each one. It then cuts to a while later after they haven't been with each other, so naturally they need to fix that. It's been a week, and some people can't keep it in their pants. Some of us have been keeping it in their pants for 20 years now, and it's starting to make us do weird things. Like start a channel that is dedicated to reviewing hentai. Please, if you're out there, do not pity me. I did this to myself. Now, of which it starts scene 3 that runs from 11 minutes and 15 seconds to 13 minutes and 35 seconds. Overall, 2 minutes and 20 seconds, a decent length overall for what we've been seeing, but let's see if we can go even further. A bit later, they are having what's known colloquially as a pool party, for the youngins that she has had, and she decides, hey, I'm gonna go slip away for a second. She goes just out of view, and then decides to get dirty again. Dude, you're around kids, and you think the corner of the house is going to be safe. Good for you. Enjoy being on cheaters. Scene 4 lasts from 13 minutes and 55 seconds to 15 minutes flat, and then it kind of ends there. Like, it does a little bit of dialogue about how she's like, I will always love my husband and my kids, but this dick is something else though. Which is weird, but hey, we're here at the end. So, as long as we're here, let's go ahead and cut to the little screen that I used with a 3D animation that really doesn't look all that great, but I do it because it's fun, it's cheap, and I think it's a good brand to have. Low budget, good effort. So let's go ahead and cut to that. 3, 2, 1, let's go. There we go, and now we're back onto the review. At least the reviewing section of it, where we get to animation. Animation of which, overall, it's very average. It's not, it's nothing special. The character models themselves do have higher quality than normal, but then again, just because you're taking a diamond and you're moving it around at like 5 frames a second, you're not really making it look all too good. So yeah, average is as average does at around a 5 out of 10. This is definitely an average animation related wise. So now let's go ahead and move on to the characters. The characters of which, they're pretty one note, but their chemistry between what's going on and the situations they keep finding themselves in are very just gripping. And it may be the short time and the whole, like, don't ask questions, just watch what happens kind of mentality of it, but the characters themselves are fun to see as they show up. They're nothing big, they're very much like, oh, cheating wife hooks up with somebody else. Now let's watch the forbidden acts occur. It's pretty standard, but the standardness does have a lot to it. So overall, characters I'd give a 7 out of 10. Now finally, what we're all really here for, the plot. The plot of which is super sexy and super numerous, even though there's not a ton of variety amongst what happens, given that there's only 2 people. But they don't use a ton of tags, but the tags that they do use just feel good. Like, what's there is so good to watch, but it is not something that you would be like, don't worry, it hits every base. It hits like one base, but it hits that base hard as fuck. So, overall, I'd give the actual plot of the entire thing a 9 out of 10. I love this one. So, overall, averaging out the scores, 5, 7, and 9, you get 21. 21 divided by 3 is 7, leading to this being something that has its ups, but it also has its lulls where it really doesn't get to a lot. At least if you're looking at it from a quality perspective. Overall, I'd give this bad boy a 7 out of 10. Definitely, I would recommend it for the bits that normal people watch hentai for. But for a lot of other reasons, I can't say that I'd recommend it to you. Sex good, everything else secondary at most. And I'd like to thank absolutely everybody that's here for sticking around and watching me do this stupid thing that I really enjoy doing. This is going to be a much shorter video because I have to wake up early tomorrow, and I'd rather get this out of the way, so. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate the hell out of you. Remember, at 100 subs, I'll do a special video. Not gonna say what it is, because I've had this idea for a while. But if we get there, then I'll do something dumb, and that's probably gonna be pretty fun. So, until next time, I have been the Doctor. Stay safe, have a nice day, and have a nice day. Don't be a dick, there's too many of them, and wash your fucking hands. I've been the Doctor. Peace.